Right, welcome back. This is Hope at Dawn right here at Hope TV, where you look and you live. 27 minutes to the top of the hour, 8 a.m. on this amazing last day of the month of April. We look at what is being reported in the dailies this morning. We start with the Daily Nation, and it's yet another fiasco rocking the government. And this time round, it is with CS Mutua. And here they say CS Mutua's Qatar police jobs fiasco. A government-backed program for employment abroad has imploded in controversy. There is a picture there of Labour CS Alfred Mutua, and they say 250,000 last year. Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua told a forum attended by President Ruto that Kenyans would secure jobs as police officers in Qatar. Job seekers have been paying 250,000 shillings. And Kenyans who are desperate for jobs abroad are losing their cash to rogue recruitment agencies. These untouchable architects of the con games continue to rip off victims lured by false promises of a breakthrough in life. But it is grand betrayal when jobless Kenyans are now fleeced through a state-backed program. It's a story that is covered on page 2 and 3. An unfortunate story here because you would expect that all the agencies, maybe you don't know about this agency, you don't know about this recruitment agency. But then again, when you hear it is a government-led initiative, you know that, yes, this one at least I know it's sort of safe because you think that it is a government-to-government initiative. And then again, you are told that, apana, even that one, you're not guaranteed. And then you lose your hard-earned cash. 250,000 shillings, losing it in the current economy. That's astonishing. It's quite sad. And it's a story that is on page 2 and page 3 inside the Daily Nation. And then, of course, yesterday we saw this picture being shared by these political leaders on their social media platforms. And it's secrets of talks on 2027 opposition coalition against Ruto. Opposition figures looking to craft an alliance they hope will topple President Ruto in the next general election, held a preliminary meeting to explore how to arrive at a joint flag bearer. But the initial talks revealed that the road ahead is treacherous and competing interests are a threat to unity. Read that story on pages 4 and 5. And I'm looking at that photo, which is splashed on the front page of the Daily Nation. We have former CS Eugene Wamalwa, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. This is a former minister, former party leader, and former minister. This is Martha Karua. There is former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, former Interior ICT CS in the Uhuru Kenyatta regime, Fred Matiang'i. There is a former Trade Minister, Dr. Muhisa Kitui, former Agriculture CS Linturi, Mithika Linturi, and former Speaker of the National Assembly, former MP and former Attorney General Justin Muturi. They met yesterday to deliberate on the road to the 2027 elections. And then I'm looking at that photo. Then I'm asking myself, when we talk of the young people, and they are the leaders of tomorrow, they are the leaders, or rather they are the people who agitated last year during the Gen Z protests, the millennials, the Gen Zs and all. Where are they in this whole crafting? Food for thought. Read that story. It's on page 4 and page 5. And then I see inside Job, they say how CCTV footage exposed bankers in plot to kill teacher Rosalida Akinyi was robbed and killed on April 17, moments after withdrawing 285,000 shillings from a bank in Mumias. Detectives have narrowed the homicide probe to 4 people, including 2 bank employees. As they say, it was an inside job. Sad story here. Again, you have gone to withdraw your money and all, but then again, the same people who are supposed to maintain privacy and all are the same people who are plotting. against you, and leads to not only the robbery, but also the murder of the same. Sad story. It's on page 23. And then opposition leaders and activists demand prompt arrest of killer officers after expose. Leaders protest state inaction 1 year after security agents shot dead unarmed protesters during nationwide anti-tax demos. It's on page 6, and for me, the astonishing thing was a section of MPs in Parliament yesterday who were really going hard on the BBC over the expose. Yet people lost their lives. People were shot. Unarmed people were shot. And the only crime these people did was access a building that is actually supposed to represent the the interest of the people, and so they actually exercise delegated power from the people because they are elected by the people, and so there's nothing it's just storming that house. Did it warrant them to be killed, to be maimed, to be left with permanent physical harm? And then you see members of parliament who lack empathy, who lack, even if it's sycophancy. I think we should know limits. I was looking at those MPs, and one actually who got my attention, I think, was it there's a Mandera MP who is a vice chair of one of the committees of foreign affairs of something. And he was saying that, and this was so insensitive, that people die all over the world, people die all over the universe, and we forget and we move on. That was a member of parliament saying that of people who are killed. That, yeah, people die all over the world. So, and we accept and we move on. Those are our leaders. But I can tell you, we will never forget. Yeah, we will never forget. And justice will be served one way or the other, because we serve a just God. And yes, one day, it may take time, but one day it will come back. Yeah. We have been forgotten. Mai Mahiu floods tragedy victims tale of broken promises. Another story that is covered in the Daily Nation as well. And then this is university student leader, top judge, and 872,000 shillings bribe. It's a story that is also covered inside the Daily Nation. And you can read that story as well. So that is in sports, or rather in the Daily Nation. And in sports, Arsenal have ambitions that extend well beyond reaching the Champions League semi-finals, Coach Arteta said on Monday ahead of the first leg of their last four tie against French champions PSG. And that match was played last night, and that encounter ended 1-0 in favor of the Paris side. Ousmane Dembele with the all-important goal in the 4th minute of that tie. And so PSG taking a 1-0 lead into the second leg in a fortnight's time. And so let's wait whether and see whether Arsenal will be able to revive their hopes. Let's go to the Standard, and they say unmoved by bloodshed. That is the headline the Standard is going with, and there are photos there of the security men in charge. Of course, we have the president there, we have the CS Interior Kipchumba Murkomen, we have the IG of police, and the head of the Kenya Defence Forces. And so inhumane, they say, even as the nation reels from a damning expose revealing extrajudicial killings during last year's Gen Z protests, fresh reports have emerged of police firing live bullets at residents protesting an alleged land grab in Narok. Rights groups now question whether President William Ruto and his security chiefs grasp their constitutional duty, chief among them the protection of life. Stories on pages 2, 4, and 5 inside the Standard newspaper. Then How KRA loses billions to falsified Mitumba invoices. MPs invite public views evidence on Mediheal kidney saga. And the National Treasury is expected to make significant cuts in the budget estimates for the 2025-26 financial year in its efforts towards fiscal consolidation and to live within its means. You read that. I was seeing a dispatch from the cabinet following their meeting yesterday, and what was being said was that they will not. That is what was said, that they will not be increasing any taxes or proposing any new taxes in this year's finance bill of 2025, and it's a good thing to say. But then again, we have to wait for the finance bill itself and read for ourselves, because when trust is lost up until you see it yourself, because so many promises were even made during last year's finance bill, but of course we know what transpired, and it's unfortunate that we had to lose people, that leadership that is tone deaf, because it's at the will of the people should always take preeminence. Then I see Bishop T.D. Jakes has stepped down as the senior pastor of the Potter's House Church in Dallas, Texas, and handed over the church leadership to daughter and son-in-law. That is also captured in the Standard this morning. And then on sports page, the Football Kenya Federation visited photojournalist Chris Omolo at the Nairobi hospital after he was allegedly attacked by police officers during the Gor Mahia Mara Sugar Football Kenya Federation match. Read that story inside, and that is in the Standard. And the Enterprise pullout is how KRA loses billions to falsified Mitumba invoices, and drowning in marketing noise. Here's how to break through. That is on the Enterprise. Mini grid operators step in to bridge SMEs' power needs. That is in the Enterprise pullout this morning inside the Standard. The Business Daily this morning, what are they saying? US flags Kenya as booming market for counterfeit goods. That is what they say. Report falls weak IP enforcement for fakes menace. Washington warns of tough action against unfair trade. And I see here Nairobi military spending hits 166 billion shillings on America-Turkey orders. And Kiserian, Juja, Thika top land price gains. Ketraco restarts a push for 31 billion shillings power lines after Adani. 42 banks SACCOs bid for KMRC home loans as well. And why politicians calling for rapid population growth in their areas should weigh the risks carefully. That is the Business Daily. And that is what is being reported. Let's continue to pray for our nation, Kenya, for the prosperity, for the well-being, and for the sobriety of our nation, Kenya. Right about now, we take a break. This is to pave way for the video of the day.